All right, Shalom. Just want to start off by giving all praises, as always, to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Bashim Racha Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS who rule well, and also honor and salutations to those of you who are of the hopeful elect and are out there teaching the word in sincerity and truth. All right, so I just wanted to talk about this. Um, I can't see it taking me too long, but I can be long-winded sometimes. But I've been thinking about this, man, and wanted to put it on wax, as they say. I was trying to think of whether or not I had talked about it before because it felt familiar to me. But you know, there's scriptures where men have repeated themselves, or you could have two different scriptures where one man is saying one thing, and then there's another man in another writing saying the same thing. So um, that's no reason not to do the show again. So I was thinking about this scripture that you see, Psalms 23:4, and this is a world famous scripture, right? Because even people um, who are not in the truth subscribe to this scripture. People have it tattooed on them. People, have it, hanging up in their house on a picture or in some way. Um, but I was thinking about it, and so I wrote it down in my notes, and I've been thinking about it, and I was thinking to myself, what does it mean, like the shadow of death, right? Um, so let me read the scripture really quick. It says, this is Psalms 23:4. It says, "Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff they comfort me." Right. Um, so I was thinking to myself, what does that mean, shadow of death? And I started thinking about it because when you look it up, it doesn't give you much. Let me show you what I mean. Um, right. So you look down here, it just says death shadow, deep darkness, shadow of death, death shadow, and so forth and so on. Right. I keep saying the same thing. Right. So I had to think through it, right, and what that means, and like when you think of a shadow, right, um, a shadow is something like if you like in the sun, or in some kind of light, it casts a shadow onto the ground, and that shadow, follows you around, right? That shadow is always attached to you. If as long as there's light, there's a shadow that's attached to you, right, and it just follows you around, and that's what I started thinking about when I thought of shadow of death, like this, and maybe not actual death, right? But this feeling of things getting closer and closer. And what I mean by things is like that these end times where we as the men of the Lord are going to suffer persecution, right? We talk about let me see this. Let me go here really quick. This is Jeremiah 30:7. It says, "Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it." Right. So that time of Jacob's trouble, I don't know about any other brother, like how they think about this, but or if they feel the same way as me, or if I can explain it. But it feels like it's getting closer and closer, right? There's no like there's been times in the truth, right, when you and other brothers can attest to this that have been around for a while, where some news will break of something happening, right, and they'll be like, all right, yeah, let's strap in, it's getting ready to go down, and then it kind of dies out and fizzles off, and it goes back to I guess, status quo, for lack of a better term. But lately, it feels like there is no let up, right? I think Esau has found his niche, right? And with this coronavirus, and he's going to take it all the way to the chip. There is not going to be no let up, right? And I think and maybe it is because you're wearing masks and your whole lifestyle has changed a little bit, but I don't see there being any let up, right? So that hour of temptation that we speak about, which I should go to right now, that's coming, man. Let me see. That hour of temptation where you're going to be put in a position um, to have to make a decision, right? You're going to be put in a position to show your faith, right? In the face of death, in the face of um, adversity, you're going to have to make a choice whether or not you're going to choose life through Yahweh Bashem Yahushai or choose death, right? Um, I may have minced my words there, but will you choose life through Yahweh Bashem Yahushai or choose death, meaning going to what Esau has to offer, all right? So this is Revelations 3:10. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Right, and that hour of temptation is going to be that decision, that final decision that you got to make on whether or not you're going to take that chip, man. That is like the culmination of this whole thing. And I wish I would have thought of this because there's a couple of pictures that I had saved. But one was in regards to, let me see if I can see. I'll just read it if I can't. Probably won't be able to pull it up. Let me see if it's still on my phone here. Give me a second. I want to read it. I think this is it. Yeah, this is brother sent this. It's it's brother Bonawar. He sent it out. Um, it looks like it's a Instagram post. But let me read it. It says, Natural News. It says, the next chapter of this pandemic will be the final lockdown for humanity. Mass extermination, door to door medical kidnappings, forced inoculations, and engineered famine, right? And that's a fact, man. That's a fact. I mean, granted, it could be one of those, because just all this the internet is inundated with these different things. Some are true and some are false, and some don't hit the way you expect them to when you read it. Sorry, excuse me. Speaking in regards to news, right? Um, but th- like I said, it feels like those things are getting closer and closer. I could feel it. I could feel it. Like I don't. Um, I'm not. I don't want to say I'm not settled because I'm comfortable with what the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is doing. So I don't want to say I'm not settled, but I want to say that there is no. I don't know how to say this. Not that I'm not settled. That's not the right way to say it. But in other words, like like for instance, when you that feeling where you got a bad grade, right? And your parents went to parent teacher conference, and you know when like you ain't been doing that good, right? So you know when your parents get back from parent teacher conference that you're gonna be uh, getting into something, right? And not to say that you're gonna get in trouble as in regards to the truth. The Lord may deliver you, right? As it says here in the scripture. But what I'm saying is that feeling of anticipation is heavy. It's heavy, and that's how I've been feeling. Like there's not a time where I'm not thinking about it, right? And I'm 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 hoping like my hope has increased, right? That the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai has mercy, and not only me but on all of us, that have been in this truth and believe in sincerity. So let me continue on. I wanted to go to let me see something. What's this say? I don't want to read that. Maybe I do though. Maybe I do though. Right. So let me read this. This is Hosea 5:15. It says, "I will go and return to my place till they acknowledge their offense and seek my face. In their affliction they will seek me early." So the reason why I pulled this scripture up is because I was thinking about acknowledgement, right? That acknowledgement part of it, where you have to acknowledge what we have to acknowledge our part in the story, right? I say this all the time, and when it came to I don't know if I should say this, but I'll say it anyway to make the point. But when me and my oldest son's mother kind of went our separate ways, I was a real bitter dude, and I didn't get through it mentally until I accepted my role in it, right? And meaning that I wasn't I was out here simping, right? And there's no woman on earth that wants to be with a simp, right? And when I started to come to terms with it, right, um, I was able to get through it, right, when I accepted my part in it. And that's why I pulled the scripture up as far as the acknowledgement goes, because when you read the story, which I'll pull up in just a second here, about those Maccabean brothers who accepted their death, there was a level of acknowledgement that is noteworthy, right? You got to think about like um, what made them so comfortable. Like when I started with the shadow of death. What here they are. Not we have and at this time the shadow of death, right? It's lingering. It's on you. You're thinking about it, right? Or you know, as much as you try to carry on with your day, and of course we do, right? But um, they didn't have the shadow of death. They were in the face of death, right? It wasn't a shadow of it. There wasn't an inkling of it. There wasn't a this might happen, right? They were in the face of it, and they accepted it with a level of fervence that it's amazing and inspiring to read, man. So I want to go to it real quick. So I go to it real quick. I'm going to start at the 14th verse. You can read this whole chapter, but this is Second Maccabees, the 7th chapter, and I want to start at 14 here. So it says, "So when he was ready to die, he said thus: It is good being put to death by men, to look for hope from the Most High, to be raised up again by him. As for these, thou shalt have no resurrection to life." Right. So he's like, look, this is nothing to be put to death by you, because what comes out of that is hope that the Most High will raise you up again. Right. Your hope is increased in that moment, in that taking of your physical life. Right. Your hope is increased that the Lord will resurrect you again. The scriptures say that there are going to be people who that die for this thing, that are martyred for this thing, that are going to be raised up, man. Right? And you got to think like when you have to get out of the space of uh I hope nothing happens to me. You got to get out of that space because mentally it'll fuck you up. I hope nothing happens to me. I hope nothing happens to me. You got to prepare your mind for the worst things to happen, man. The scriptures tell you the time of Jacob's trouble. Trouble is not light and easy, right? there's a level of darkness, right, and gloom that's going to happen, and you can feel it coming, right? Let me go to this scripture really quick. What is that? Yep. Let's see. Let's see what the scripture says. Amos 5:18. It says, "Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light." Right? Like, so the overall happenstance is going to be a glorious thing, right? Like the children of Israel being delivered, the so-called white man being destroyed and taken down, right? But the for that to happen, for that glorious thing to happen, there's going to be a lot of darkness, man, and a lot of gloom. Like death is a heavy thing, right? And there's going to be a lot of it. There's going to be a lot of it. Okay, so that time is going to be a dark time, right? Where, like when you watch, we always reference this movie, The Road. Like they didn't know at any given moment what was going to happen. That is a dark space for someone to be in, which they did a really bad job at how they developed the character of that kid in the movie, because he was a real emotional, sad, like, Dad, Papa, why is he was really it was unrealistic for a child that had grown up in that lifestyle to be so tender, right? Because you when you're in that life, you build up a callous, as the scriptures tell you, right? The scripture that tells you that our minds will be calloused, right? Right. And when you live in those times, you get roughened and you get hardened. You know, I was thinking about this last night, which is funny that I'm saying it now because I damn sure was thinking about it. Um, my one of my kids, they like to sleep with the AC on, and he said it's more comfortable. And I started thinking about one of the elder apostles who I've had the privilege of being in the presence of. He he said that he likes to sleep in the heat because it gives him an edge. And I was like, man, that when I heard it, when he said it, I was like, man, that's a heavy spirit, boy, because I like me some AC too. I like me some AC too, but that he again he's preparing his mind. He is callousing his mind, toughening his spirit, in preparation for these times, man. And that's why I say to get out of that mind frame of I hope nothing happens to me, right? Because now you're only preparing your mind for good, right? Which and that may not happen. You want to be like the scriptures say, uh, knowledge and no, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of that time, right? So wisdom is complete in its nature, right? So you can't just think of one side of what could happen. You got to think of both, right? When you read, I think Songs of Solomon, Solomon mentions that how he understood both sides of life, right? The joy and folly of life, and the seriousness and discipline of life. He understood them both, right? Because wisdom is complete. So you can't just think of one. Oh, nothing happens to me. I'm so scared because and then it increases your fear when you're thinking like that, right? And the Lord don't like that. The Lord, appreciates a man who is fervent and believes in Him wholeheartedly and doesn't doubt, man. All right, so let me go back to this. Um, verse 15, it says, "Afterward, they brought the fifth also and mangled him. Then looked he unto the king and said, Thou hast power over men, thou art corruptible, thou doest what thou wilt. Yet think not that our nation is forsaken of the Most High. But abide a while and behold his great power, how he will torment thee and thy seed." Um, After him also they brought the sixth, who being ready to die said, "Be not deceived without cause, for we suffer these things for ourselves, having sinned against our power. Therefore, marvelous things are done unto us." Right? So there's a level of acceptance there, right? And a level of acknowledgement. And I firmly believe that this is where this fervence that they had came from. They're look like, look, I'm going through this because we went off. I gotta take this, and that's honorable, man. That's honorable to receive your stripes, right? Knowing that you did wrong, man. You know, don't try to avoid your stripes and hide from what you're supposed to get. You know, so I think that's it, man. I think that's it. I didn't realize I was talking for that long, but like I said, I'm I'm long-winded, but hopefully that was edifying, man. Um, I hope it didn't come out the wrong way. I was afraid to talk about it because I thought it would come out like a like like I was scared or like I was guilty. I didn't want it to come out like that. I just it's something I was thinking about. Um, and I was thinking about it because like I said, these times are getting closer. Well, there was a second picture that I didn't think I saved, but it was I think two people sent it. One was on one group chat, one was on the other group chat, but it said basically that there was like a picture in the store, and the store said, raise your right hand or your forehead to the temperature reader, so it can read your temperature and you can enter the building or whatever, or something along those lines. And of course, it's the conditioning for the chip, right? And like I said, like every time I read something like that, or I see something like the other one I read here, um, like I feel like it's getting closer and closer, man. It's not we're not too far away from it. I don't see this thing going another full 12 months. I really don't. Um, but that's just my own humble opinion. I'm not the Lord. I don't know what He's got planned, but that's why I brought it up, And again, I'll end it by giving all praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Bashem Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS. Honor and salutation to the elect. With that, I say shalom.